It's your time! Can you say hi to YouTube for me, please? Oh, only Toppy gonna say hi to YouTube? Wow, YouTube. Dropping the ball. Twitch doesn't respect you enough to say hi anymore. Wow. That's on you. What's up, YouTube? We're back with some more Belle Automata Part 4, chat? Part 4, I think? Maybe? Not start. I almost clicked start. I almost did it. But I did not. We're clicking load. And we are at 24. Okay, yeah. These were when I was scared I was making the wrong decisions, which I still might be making the wrong decisions. I don't know. Okay. What happened last time? We learned that Victor does know how to play the piano. He also knows how to play the violin. Him and Zafir do not get along. Like, even though, like, they just don't get along. And we've learned that, like, Victor will do anything for Q. Like, literally anything. Miss Chouette! Good morning! I woke up in the middle of the night. I was about to say, this is like 4 a.m. for you? What are you doing? I am very much still very slowly but surely trekking along. I'm just trying to remember everything that we've done. So, yeah. Because Victor is still... We're gonna teach Victor still how to... like, make things, embroidery and things like that, and he's teaching us how to, like, clean and take care of the house, and, like, at the end of it all, Victor will do anything to, like, make the people he cares about happy, which, at this moment, is Q, and we get a few comments towards us every now and again, and I self-high-five, and it's a good time. It's 5:40, I had a nightmare! I'm so sorry, I hate nightmares, they're actually really, really scary. I'm so sorry. You can join us and you can fall asleep to me fan gushing about your characters if you'd like. I can does that. Let's go ahead and jump in. The next morning, I'm alone, wondering to myself as I rest on my charging station, actually charging for once. As I lay there, my thoughts are in a frenzy, at a complete contrast with my still body. I think of the strange daydream I had of my vocal cord malfunction. That's right, we had a daydream that, like, we had a nice daydream with Victor, basically. And then we also lost our voice during the jam session. Am I broken? I'm not sure, but it suddenly occurs to me. I should ask someone who knows Victor better than myself. Or maybe I should just talk about my feelings with someone. A professional.
Dr. Champion. Maybe I can reach out to him.
Why would you not ask Q? I've got to find Diego first, though. I'm sure he would know best.
I know his room is in my wing.
Disconnecting from the charging chamber, I leave for the hallway straight away. I find myself in the same hallway as the one I'd first met Diego. It's early, so I don't know if I'm at his door exactly, but I'll just keep knocking on these hall doors until I find the one that belongs to him. I knock on what is, hopefully, his door.
Diego?
Almost immediately, the door slides open. Yay! A beautiful set of curls pokes through the doorway.
Hey, how are you?
That's not the question I mean to ask, but it comes out anyway. Thankfully, Diego smiles as he replies. The light in his eyes tells me that he's curious as to why I've approached him.
I'm doing well, you know.
I don't know, but I feel too awkward to ask. Will he think I'm prying if I do?
Oh, okay.
We stand there awkwardly looking at each other.
Anyway, I wanted to ask you about meeting with Dr. Champion.
Oh, I see. Well, I can schedule an appointment for you, if you'd like. You can also schedule an appointment by asking for his number if you want to do it yourself.
I don't know that I want to talk on the phone to anyone, to be totally honest. I've never used a phone before, and while I do think I like learning new things and using new tools, somehow the phone is intimidatingly human.
I'm okay for now. Thank you, though, Diego.
No problem. And what should I tell him the appointment is for?
A checkup?
Like a diagnostic? Or are your parts not working?
A diagnostic for sure.
She's like, I'm getting daydreams, and even for a rogue android, this shouldn't be happening, right? Right.
Ah, is it a mental health thing?
Chat, yes. Let's fucking go. Yeah. We just straight up putting it in the game. Fuck yeah.
I
never thought of it that way, but
That's such a human way of expressing it, but I think so, actually.
It's okay. Sometimes human terminology is just easier to use, on the merit that it's a way of thinking that can be more easily understood.
oh? I wonder about Diego's past life for him to say such a thing. Noting my confusion, he explains further.
After all, humans don't get diagnostics.
That's true. I guess I want an assessment due to the fact that I've been, well, distracted. I think I had.
I hesitate. But after all, as Diego said, it's easier to use human words to explain.
I had a dream, I think. Only I wasn't in sleep mode. It felt so real and yet not real at all. I guess it was more of a daydream or a hallucination. I don't know.
Diego tilts his head curiously, considering.
Wow, that does sound like you need help.
Thanks, Diego. I look at him, my voice dry.
As usual, thanks, Diego.
You're welcome. I think? Why are you thanking me?
For your, as always, candid thoughts.
Oh, yes, you're certainly welcome. I didn't know you appreciated it so much, but in that case, I will continue to express myself freely.
I'm okay with this. I wonder for a moment if I should bother to explain sarcasm to him, but I'm not as honest-hearted as he is. Oh well. Sometimes you just have to cut your losses and call it a day.
I've also been having some malfunctioning in my throat circuits. I think something might be disconnected inside of there.
It seems fine now.
Now, yes, but every once in a while I get...
I grimace and gesture pointedly at my throat.
I see.
Oh wow.
Well, an appointment you wanted, and an appointment you'll get. I'll put in a request and let you know when I've done as you asked.
Thank you.
I turn away, leaving him behind, satisfied. It's still early, so I guess I could seek out Victor if I wanted to.
I wonder if he's up for another embroidery lesson. Maybe this time we can actually stitch something, if he were up to it. He's probably in the living room.
I make my way there, wondering if my prediction is correct. In the living room, to my surprise, Victor isn't there. What? I was actually betting that he would be.
That's surprising. I wonder where he could be.
Is he in the garden? Maybe I can ask Zafir? I open the library door, and while Zafir is nowhere to be seen...
Victor, what are you doing?
Reading.
Obviously, but reading what?
If you must know, I'm reading about embroidery.
Yep, okay, that makes sense. It was either gonna be embroidery or music. I smile teasingly.
Are you that bothered about not being able to weave yet?
Victor looks me square in the face.
I am, yes.
His answer surprises me.
I didn't know you cared so much.
Victor hesitates for a moment.
I do, of course.
I look at him, my lips parting in further surprise.
Of course? Why do you say of course?
So cute. She's so cute. Instead of replying, Victor looks around us suspiciously. He checks the door, pressing his ear to it before turning back towards me. Not getting my hopes up. I'm not getting my hopes up.
I will say this once and only once.
I nod seriously, ready to hear what he has to say.
I shall have you know that I do care about the opinion of very few people. The young master, for one. And for another, I admit that for some reason...
I'm so nervous. I know what he's gonna say, but I'm so nervous. He places a hand on his hip, seemingly puzzled.
What? Don't tell me you care about my opinion.
Vexingly, I admit that I do have a vested interest in your opinion.
I'll take it. From him, I'll take it. I gape at him.
But why?
He looks down, then shuts his eyes entirely.
I don't know exactly. It seems that it began with our first crafting lesson. I've never humiliated myself so thoroughly in front of a person who is a master of their craft.
Okay, try to comfort him. Ask him if he felt embarrassed. Oh, I gotta save. Chat. I'm saving the game in case we have to go back to these points. Not necessarily, like, oh God, please don't let me get back to ending. Honest and direct is the advice I got. Ask him if he felt embarrassed. Oh God, I'm so nervous. I actually feel like I'm gonna get a neutral ending and I'm gonna be pissed. Ask him if he felt embarrassed. And the dev is in the chat, and I know she's just gonna be like, that's not it, but I'm going anyway. No. Sometimes as a streamer, as an Otome player, you just do it. You just click the button.
So you felt embarrassed then?
Just click the button. Just show it. Don't look at me. Please don't look at me.
Is that what you would call this feeling? I suppose you would know better than I.
Maybe you just need to loosen up.
I think of Zafir and how he helped me to let my hair down, so to speak.
Oh? How so?
You let your hair down. It worked for us, apparently. I think for a moment.
Maybe you can let down your hair?
What? Say it with me, chat. Too many otomes. I don't know if he'll actually do it, but... God. I'm scaring myself at this accuracy, though, sometimes. I'm so sorry. Just go. Okay.
My apologies, but I absolutely do not understand how doing so would make me a better embroiderer.
Maybe you can loosen up and...
My shoulders droop.
I don't know. It seemed to help me with music when Zafir suggested it to me.
I almost miss it, but it seems that Victor's eyebrow quirks just slightly. If this android admits later that like he didn't know what this feeling was every time we talked about Zafir and it ends up being like jealousy. Again, the things that I like in otomes are not what I like in IRL partners. I just always want to put that as a thing. For some reason though, in otomes, I'm like a little bit of jealousy is, beautiful. And if it comes out that he, like, that's one of the things that he admits when it comes to the confession is that, like, he was jealous, I'm gonna be, yeah! But anyway,
What?
Hmm?
Nothing. It looked like you wanted to say something.
I did not have anything to say to you. I just had a thought that I do not wish to share.
Why not?
Because it was not particularly kind.
oh, okay. He's so sweet. Fuck yeah, okay. Can't say something nice, don't say it at all. I love him!
And you care what I think about you.
Nice. Victor shuts his eyes again.
You needn't remind me.
I love it. I smile at him.
Come on, let's go.
Go where?
To the craft room. We're going to embroider something together, so try and make me proud. All right?
She says it so cutely. He stands straighter, inclining his head.
After you, Aurev.
Reaching out, I take his hand, pulling him behind me. She's making the daydream reality, but she's leading it. It's bold of me to do, I know, but I do it quickly, and strangely without thought. I took his arm lightly, but Victor doesn't move from his place, staring at me in confusion instead.
What are you doing?
I look down at our hands, then back up at his face nervously. You did so good, baby.
Taking your hand.
Why? Do you have information you wish for me to upload?
I sputter for a moment, hastily letting go.
I don't.
I decide to smile brightly, smothering the strange guilt I feel. In truth, grabbing his hand had come naturally, just like in my daydream. Should I have asked first?
You caught me, I guess. I just wanted to hold your hand.
Once again, the thing I love about Aurev, she's inquisitive and she does think about others, but she's also very, very honest, but not like I don't know. I really, really like her. I love how she's written.
I see.
He still looks confused, but I quickly press my hand to the door panel, trying not to feel flustered as my heart core speeds up.
Let's go, Victor. We have work to do, don't we?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Embarrassingly, he looks as though he's still thinking about it, but he does follow dutifully behind me. Let me just take a moment to chat. Victor would rather be deactivated than admit that. Okay, then admit that he's jealous. But does that mean he has, like, no tendencies of jealousy? That's fine. That's fine. I can finally be wrong in something because the hair thing was just a little too on the nose even for me. Her voice is so cute. The voice actress did an amazing job, and I will say that to the end of time for Aurev. Like, all of them are great, but there's just something in the minuscule emotions and the levels. I don't know if that's due to the sound, like the overall sound person or not, but there's just something with Aurev's voice actress that there's tiny notes that she hits perfectly, and I love her. Thank you. She has a lot of nuances that come out in the performance, and the audio effects are so good. Amen. Yes. No longer lurking, Andrea. Good evening, sweetie. How are you? Welcome, welcome. If you want to go back to lurking, you guys know lurking is totally fine in my chat. In the craft room, Victor stares at me attentively, seemingly focused on the task at hand.
Now, I know you care about my opinion, but maybe you should concentrate on the person you want to make it for. If you do that, then maybe you can put your heart into it.
He hesitates for a moment before nodding his head at me.
That sounds sensible.
Victor, while the embroidery may have made Q happy, It's the fact that it was made without any obligation, and as a gift. The thought that counts.
Victor shuts his eyes.
Without obligation, you say?
Does he feel like he has to do this?
That's right. Making something for someone just because you want to is one of the most precious things a person can give to another.
In that case, I am ready to work.
I take the fabric he chose before and hand it to him.
Good. Let me just help you a little bit.
I try not to feel self-conscious as Victor's piercing gaze follows me around the room. I find a needle and thread, threading it quickly before handing it to Victor. I look him in the eyes, smiling to make the atmosphere a little more relaxed, but his expression does not change.
Thank you.
Victor's brow lifts.
I just want to ask you another question.
His expression is flat, but not unkind as he replies.
Another? How unsurprising. What is it?
Why are your eyes different colors?
This is what I wanted to know! Yay!
My eyes?
To my surprise, he touches one of them lightly in a way that I could almost call self-conscious. If it weren't Victor, that is.
You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but I think it looks good on you. You have very pretty eyes, Victor.
Pretty?
He's silent for a long moment.
What is it?
I have never thought or heard of an imperfection as pretty, much less one of mine.
Isn't it amazing when people like you, whether friendship, romantically, that what you think are imperfections, people think are pretty or attractive, or, you know, just a part of you that they love? I like this. I'm just happy right now, and I don't know why. And it's not because Victor's on screen. For once, it's not because the character I like is on screen. It's just like these little moments. Arev is just so honest, and it makes me feel good. Like, ready for the weekend? Happy to spend it in Reaper stream. Let's go, Andrea. Aaron, good evening. It's Rahoon. Also, hi, I guess. Hello.
Oh.
Oh. I smile widely.
There's a few more adjectives I can think of to describe your eyes. Like,
Okay, baby bold. Let's go, Arev. I pause, wondering what else I could say. Oh no, please don't make me choose.
striking. Your eyes are very striking, Victor.
That's a good one. Victor says nothing, so I pause for a moment, wondering if I've gone too far.
Victor, are you angry?
I am not, no. Though I cannot say for certain what emotion I am feeling.
I frown slightly, looking up at him in worry.
Do you want me to stop?
No, I don't think I do. I am pleased.
My eyes widen.
Pleased. You mean you're happy to be complimented?
Victor's reply is dry.
As I mentioned, it is an imperfection. For my eyes to be considered striking feels as though it ought to be an error of some kind, but you speak with certainty. That makes it perplexing. I cannot say I think much on my appearance, but as a butler, there is a certain uniformity that I am expected to execute. Does having heterochromatic irises not make me look unbalanced?
No! No! You look fucking adorable! What is this android saying? I shake my head with a smile.
I don't think so. I said they were striking after all.
In that case,
Victor's eyes roam my physical form in a way that is both appraising and critical. Before I have time to feel embarrassed, it's over, with Victor looking me squarely in the face.
I have already mentioned your hair, and a recycled compliment will not do.
He really is. I get a compliment, I give a compliment, and you know what? If that's how that's the only way you could take compliments, sure.
Victor, you don't have to compliment me.
But I will.
Music stopped. Whenever the music stops, I don't know what to do. Click the button is what you're supposed to do, Reaps. That's what you're supposed to do. I know people probably think, like, especially when you're watching the YouTube VODs, people are probably like, oh my god, what are they doing? They just need to click the button, continue with the story. And they're like, the amount of people that probably see these and are like, oh my god, they're just playing it up for the camera. No, I revel. I revel in moments like this where I know it might not be a huge thing, but it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something, and I revel in the moment of right before it happens. Reveling is over.
Diego once told me that in your red and green you remind him of a cute little strawberry.
Oh, did he?
Indeed. He said that you are both approachable, and, though I do not know the relation to being a strawberry, huggable.
His words surprise me. I try to imagine Diego and Victor discussing me, but my imagination comes up surprisingly short.
Rather, I think there is a human phrase that suits you very well.
Did his voice get deeper on that last part? I was right! Revel in the silence because shit will happen! Okay. My hands are sweaty. He steps closer to me until we're chest to chest, bending down to look at me with cool, languid eyes. My headphones are ready. My headphones are ready. His voice is close to my ears as he leans in. I intended to tease Victor, but when he steps so close to me, I feel myself flustering for a moment.
Is there?
There is, and it is this. You are cute. So much so that I could eat you right up.
I'm done. No, wait. I need a moment. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I expected. That was not it. I'm okay. I don't know. I can't stop. I can't stop fidgeting. I'm just. Ah. Sup. Oh. I think it's really funny because the only moments that I've gotten out of my chair is when there's like a sexy moment, a deep moment. I feel like that's the first time there's been something cute said to me, and I'm just like, what? Stop it. Stop it. I don't need to take a cold shower. No. I'm just kicking my little legs under the desk, by the way. My favorite thing about watching Victor streams, he's so cool that when he's doing the bare minimum, people be screaming, "Yo, no, this ain't no bare minimum. This is him. This is." It's not as much as other games, but it's not the bare minimum. It's out of character for him. Therefore, it is not the bare minimum. I don't care. I don't care. I'm happy. Wow, my whole I gotta take a picture. Everyone really went in and said, Reaper, go take a cold shower. Oh god. Y'all are insane. Oh, I hope that shows up, okay. Ah! Okay. My heart core hums quickly enough to make the heat between us increase noticeably. Victor looks amused! This mofo, he knows. He knows more than he lets on. He knows what he does to us. Cheeky. And I like it.
I can hear your hardcore.
Dude, don't say that! The one thing that embarrasses me the most is when I'm like on a date with someone, or you know, like you're doing the first cuddling thing where like their head is on like your chest and they're like, I can hear your heart beating like really fast. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. What did you expect to happen in this situation? God.
That's because...
I pretend to get angry at him, stumbling backwards. That's me.
You shouldn't step into someone's personal space like that, you know?
Victor nods seriously.
If that is what you wish.
No, no, Wait a minute. I feel like I have made a mistake. He gathers his supplies.
Then I will be leaving.
What? I thought I was going to show you the embroidery ropes.
My pride will not allow it, but do not worry. I will make something that will bring you pleasure on sight. You will be proud of me, Alrev.
I'm already kind of proud of you. Already kind of proud of you, Victor. I'm astonished. But as I register his resolve, I smile at him. To declare something so childish with such an adult voice, face, and expression, I can't help it. I laugh quietly. Victor's eyes pivot, snapping towards me critically, but it's too late. The laughter bubbles out joyously, unstopped even by his critical gaze.
Are you laughing at me?
I am. Sorry. It's just so cute of you.
Victor freezes in place. Even though just moments before I was the flustered one from being called cute, I think I've stunned him. After a long silence, he eventually finds his words.
I will be taking my leave now.
He turns stiffly and leaves the room in a huff. For a moment, I wonder if I should pursue him before waving a hand dismissively.
He'll be fine, I'm sure.
Besides, I place my hand over my chest, my smile fading as I think of Victor bending down to look into my eyes.
What was that?
And why was my heart core humming so loudly as a result? I dwell on the thought for a moment longer before dismissing it.
It must have been a fluke. Even so, it's a good thing I scheduled that appointment with Dr. Champion.
I shouldn't have to rely on Diego, though. I'll need to ask for his contact information. Maybe tomorrow I can look out for someone to ask. It occurs to me that I have a way to ask someone else a little more immediately, though.
Q, are you listening?
No, but I'm here if you need me. Did you need something from me?
I really like that we can still have a relationship with Q like this.
Yes, actually. Could you get Dr. Champion's contact number to me?
Excuse me.
Ah, yes. If you come to my room, I'll print it for you.
Thank you. I'll come meet you now.
I like Victor teasing can be very fun. Yeah. Yeah, he's hilarious. I love it. Yep. As I walk down the hall, I hum as I go, the sound of Victor's piano melody on my mind.
I wonder if I could learn to play it. I'll have to ask Victor.
I trail off. Actually, maybe not. After all, Victor's already teaching me to clean, and besides, it would be fun to surprise him.
I wonder if Zephyr will teach me instead.
A small twinge of excitement hits me.
Teach you what?
Before I know it, I've arrived at Q's door.
Nothing.
I don't know why, but the idea of Q telling Victor immediately comes to mind, instantly flustering me. I echo myself.
Teach me nothing. Just talking to myself.
Okay. I'll pretend I didn't hear that then.
Thanks, Q.
In any case.
As I approach on the other side of the door, I hear the quiet sound of typing. I take the paper, then scan the code on it so I can store the information.
Thank you, Q.
No problem.
The silence that comes after tells me that he's gone, so I take my leave as well, walking back to my room with a bit of pep in my step. I can't wait to hear Zephyr's reaction to my idea.
You want me to what?
I knew it!
Oh, come on, Zephyr. There's no need to be dramatic. I just want to learn the song.
Zephyr crosses his arms.
Yeah, a song from Mr. Grumpy. There's no way he really created that song.
I frown at Zephyr.
Come on, be fair. If I hadn't told you that I wanted to learn it, then would you be so against it?
Zephyr sputters for a moment.
Well, I mean, that's not fair! It's not like I'm biased against your jerk butler friend. It's just that...
That what?
It's just that I'm biased against your jerk butler friend.
I love Zephyr. I love Zephyr, and I know you can romance him, but also I'm just like... he's the gay best friend that's like, I don't like the boyfriend. Oh, I love Zephyr's character as well. I might romance him just because I want more of him.
Oh, come on. Victor's not that bad. He's a bit like a cat, don't you think?
Cat?
Yes, a cat. My former master used to have one. They can be a bit standoffish, but that's what makes them cute.
And that's why I'm not a cat person, honestly. Zephyr groans again.
I don't know who's more delusional for going along with this. Me or...
He trails off at my bright expression and sighs in defeat.
Or me. Alright, fine. Let's hear the melody.
Sure thing.
That's right. I was like, how is she gonna tell him? And I was, the androids. Oh god, it's so pretty. I would. Oh. This would be amazing in my study playlist. Oh. The room falls silent as I pull up my visual recording of Victor's song and play it aloud. Zephyr listens silently until the music stops, then looks at me indignantly.
What now?
I can't believe he's this talented and has the nerve to turn down being in a band with the one and only me. It's such a waste of talent.
He sighs.
Now that I've got the song, I'll write the notes out. Later.
So you'll do it? Really?
I will, yes. After all, what can I say? I am weak to the wiles of my fanbase.
I open my mouth to protest that I am not his fan base, but promptly shut my mouth instead.
Thank you, Zafir. It means a lot.
Zafir offers me a thumbs up in reply.
Besides, since we don't know when my voice will go out again, learning the melody should be easier. Zafir, you're the best.
He laughs brightly.
And don't I know it?
Okay, I'm gonna take a minute to talk to chat just really, really quickly. If I ever play one of these, I would have to try and romance nobody just to be contrarian. There's actually an Otome dating sim that the goal is that everyone is trying to romance you and you're trying not to get romanced. And there's also, Pit Stop in Purgatory. Well, I guess you're technically with your fiance. Or your boyfriend. I can't remember if they're married or not, or if they're engaged or not. But you can do the solo route. There are games nowadays that you can do solo single routes and just focus on the story. Zafir's very romantic. There's bad endings. I know, and I already feel like I'm on the route to the bad ending with Victor. Okay, I'm very scared. Play ton of visual novels, but none romance-based. You're missing out. You're missing out. There's a soundtrack you can buy. Is it on Steam? Is the soundtrack on Steam? Because yes, I will. I need this. Tompy, thank you for putting in the game. I appreciate you. Disappointed.
Lenthus?
His voice floats to me in the darkness, low and familiar. Rev, I'm disappointed in you.
What have I done?
It's not what you've done. It's what you're doing.
What I'm doing?
You're turning your back on everything I've ever taught you. Music, Arev?
Father,
Don't call me that. No daughter of mine would choose a mere hobby over the craft I've helped her hone for 60 years. What about my legacy? Our legacy? I fall silent, tightness in my chest as Lenthus shakes his head at me. How can I express the lightness I feel when I hear the melodies made by another's hands? In my silence, Lenthus turns away. I try shout after him, but my voice disappears, leaving me to reach out after Lenthus as he silently retreats into darkness. I wake up to the sound of polite knocking at my door. What was that? Why would Lenthus... I mean, it wasn't the real Lenthus, but still. Sitting up, I do a quick rotation of my joints.
I wonder who that could be.
I grimace at the sound of my own voice. I wonder if I really did break something inside of myself. Opening the door, I recognize Dr. Champion right away. I notice Victor has accompanied him, though, and I wonder if the doctor had gotten lost again on the way in.
Good morning, Arev.
Good morning, Dr. Champion.
Oh, it's getting worse. I wince.
Oh, I see. This is what you were speaking of, Victor? No wonder you were worried.
My eyes flit to Victor. Worried?
I wouldn't go as far as to say that. I am not one who emotes well. You know that.
True, but sometimes you...
My throat warbles again, so Dr. Champion holds up his hand.
Diagnostic first, arguing later.
Victor tries to follow him into the room, but the doctor stops him.
Where are you going?
I have taken it upon myself to personally monitor and manage the health of...
Dr. Champion looks at me.
And he says he's not worried about you.
Klaus, my man, calling him out. Let's go. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry about my mouse. Oh. Yay, thank you. Oh, and there's Tompy's put the link in the chat if anyone else wants the music, the one that I really just want the one that Victor played. I don't know, the official soundtrack means everything, so I'm gonna study so fucking good now. Oh. Victor looks aghast.
I will not be shut out. It is very important that I...
Dr. Champion slides the door shut right in Victor's face. I stand there wide-eyed.
You know, I don't mind if he comes in.
I do, though.
I take doctor-patient confidentiality very seriously.
He grins mischievously, and suddenly I'm reminded. Victor was there for my first diagnostic. Is Klaus purposefully antagonizing Victor? I want to ask why, but then Klaus gestures for me to sit and takes a moment to put me into safe mode.
Now, first things first. Please call me Klaus, when you can speak again, of course. Second things second, I'll need you to lie back as I remove your neck attachment joint.
I nod, not wanting to give the doctor any more trouble. Laying down on the bed, I try not to feel nervous as Dr. Klaus removes the clasp around my neck with ease. As I lay there, he moves around me gently, telling me what he's doing before he even starts to do it.
I'm removing the head unit from the neck joint. It'll feel a little strange.
He disconnects me from my body unit, then... He disconnects me from my body unit, then sets me, or at least my head, aside.
That's what I like about classic androids. So much easier to fix.
He tinkers around my throat.
Sorry, I know it's boring of me to just talk procedure, but if you can't speak, I feel you may as well hear me for a little bit. I hope you've been enjoying living here. I know Victor is not the most warm of compatriots, but he is well-intentioned.
Klaus looks thoughtful for a moment.
I've never seen him show such concern for someone else. That's certainly an interesting twist of personality.
I can't speak, but my lips tilt upwards into a tentative smile.
Oh, that makes you happy, does it? It's quite a feat, I must say. Well, I suppose I'm rooting for you both, in whatever way that turns out.
Aw, Klaus! Don't worry, I'm coming for you next, baby. Whatever way what turns out. I shut my eyes thoughtfully as Klaus takes a peek at my vocal synthesizer. Is he talking about Victor's relationship with me? I didn't think there was anything special about the way he treated. My thought trails off. True, he didn't seem to like Zafir very much, and while his relationship with Diego seemed positive, it's not like I've seen him particularly concerned about him. Maybe it's because he seeks my approval? I decide that's what it is, but in truth, it doesn't really match up with Victor's image. It doesn't really match up with the way he leaned on my shoulders and whispered in my ear. Does Victor want to hug me? I feel just as flustered considering it as I did when he looked at me that way. So I can acknowledge that Victor treats me differently, but I wonder what it is then that makes Victor do so.
My. That's an interesting range of emotion on your face there.
He lets out a huffy breath.
My assessment of your throat is over, but I'm afraid... Well, let me put you back together before I give you the news.
He reinstalls my headpiece back against my neck, clasping the metal bar to securely lock my head into place.
What seems to be the problem then, Doctor?
But that's what this is. I didn't realize that. That's what her choker is.
Unfortunately, there isn't one. It seems that your throat is 100% operational, at least from a physical standpoint. Nothing appears to be physically wrong with you.
What is mental health? He lifts a finger.
Now, I know you must be thinking, clearly there's something wrong with me. I mean, my throat is definitely malfunctioning, and with that, I agree. I'm just afraid that the problem is here,
He taps the side of his head lightly.
rather than in here.
His hand moves to his throat.
So, you're saying...
It may be psychosomatic, a mental block of some kind that is affecting you physically because you're going through something mentally.
I see.
Is there something bothering you lately?
I hesitate.
Well,
I think of the dream I had. Terrible one. I wasn't even aware I was capable of dreams, but I confess as much to the doctor.
I had a strange dream recently.
I shudder uncomfortably.
A nightmare, if I'm honest.
Nightmare?
Yes. I was in sleep mode, and images appeared only... they weren't real. They felt real, but I knew they weren't because, well, for one thing, the things that happened felt impossible, and for another, I opened my eyes.
I see.
He reaches into his pocket for a pencil and a small pad. Interestingly, I'm pretty sure it's an analog pen and paper. It's a rarity for sure, but somehow I'm not surprised. He jots down a few notes.
What happened in this nightmare?
I hesitate, looking down at my hands.
What do you know about my life before I came here, Klaus?
Very little, though I am certainly curious to know.
Before I came here, the man who taught me everything I knew about creating, the closest thing I had to a father, he died. Lenthus was his name.
I am sorry to hear that, Arev.
Thanks, Klaus.
Did you dream of your father then?
I nod.
He was disappointed in me. He taught me everything. And I can't help but feel that by learning music, that I'm turning my back on him.
I can understand. After all, we never want to disappoint the ones we look up to, isn't that right?
I nod again, this time more slowly.
Tell me, Doctor, do you think my father would have been disappointed in me for choosing music over crafting? Lately, I find myself more prone to humming than dreaming up quilts.
In truth, that is not an answer I can give you.
My gaze drops to my hands.
Of course not. I just don't know what to do to reconcile these two sides of myself. This new side of me that loves music, and the side of me that has always been my purpose.
Klaus twiddles his thumbs for a moment before letting out a quick tsk sound.
I suppose all I can do is ask you this. At the end of the day, whose opinion is truly the one that matters?
I know I should say mine, but
But
it doesn't feel that way. Instead, it feels more like if I don't start weaving soon, I'm turning my back on Lenthus's legacy, and I don't know. That makes me feel like a terrible person. I promised to start projects when I first got here that I haven't thought about since, and that makes me feel even worse.
Klaus smiles at me, reaching out to pat my shoulder.
one thing you'll come to learn is that people are rarely terrible. Selfish, perhaps, or even self-centered. But wanting to follow a dream and committing yourself to completing tasks that need to be done, such as cleaning, hardly qualifies you as terrible either.
Klaus takes a deep breath.
Do you want my advice? Truly?
I do.
As a rogue, you are on the cusp of a brand new world. Your master has established who he was. Maybe it's time for you to do the same.
His hand shifts lower to the side of my arm.
For yourself.
But what does that mean, Doctor?
It means you should form your own relationships, find your own likes and dislikes, and
Klaus smiles.
figure out the rest on your own, like other rogues and humans do.
Klaus stands suddenly.
Now then, I ought to retrieve my things and get out of your hair.
He packs silently for a moment when all of a sudden...
Aleph? Are you alright? I heard you had a diagnostic with Klaus this morning, and I was worried, so I...
Aww.
I'm still here, Mr. Price.
There's an abrupt silence.
You are not alone?
I wince, feeling embarrassed for him.
I'm not. No.
Oh. Are you okay, though?
His voice suddenly timid. I'm overcome with the desire to comfort him.
I'm fine, Hugh. Just, getting some life advice.
Excellent advice, I might add. Your voice sounds all cleared up. Call me a miracle worker, I suppose.
Voice?
I was, I guess, having problems with my vocal synthesizer.
Oh. I see. I'm glad you're all patched up.
Yep, I'm as right as rain. Or I will be. But, since we're all here, if you haven't, you should talk to Klaus about your little listening problem.
Listening problem?
Klaus frowns.
Are you still observing the world around you instead of engaging with it as I instructed? Perhaps I should let Victor know after all.
No! I'll work on it. I promise. Just let me do it at my own pace, and I promise I'll get my act together. I promise.
Klaus and I exchange looks.
Why don't you listen in on me the next time I'm working on something? We can chat a little, and maybe I can introduce you to someone in the house.
That sounds
Terrifying.
excellent.
We'll work out the details later. For now, I'll just be going. Bye for now, Q. And thank you, Klaus. I'll think about what you said.
Klaus nods as Q sighs over the loudspeaker, sounding defeated.
Good day to you, Arev. May your self-discovery go well and your personal relationships blossom.
I think I want to do one more section before I call it a night on this game. Tonight's session has been so good. The voice acting is so good. Ah! Yes! Okay, one more section. One more section. Whew. Speaking of blossoming, by the time I'd opened the door to the hallway, Victor was already gone, leaving me to figure out what to do with the rest of my day. Of course, I wandered to the rose garden. Where else would I go? It's too early to prune them again, but being surrounded by their beauty fills me with pleasure. I'm not the only one, since Diego is here too, watering plants on the far side of the garden. Diego. I've only spoken with the android once, but Victor's words immediately come to mind. He said that you're both approachable and, though I do not know the relation to being a strawberry, huggable. Did Diego really find me huggable? I wonder. I approach him tentatively, feeling a bit awkward. He turns off the water from the hose and looks at me in earnest.
Arav, it's a pleasure to see you out here. What brings you over?
Oh, nothing. Sorry, would I be disturbing you? Because I'll go if so.
You're fine.
He chuckles pleasantly as he says the words. Immediately as I look up at him, I frown. Has Diego hugged many people in his past life before coming to House Price? How did he come to think of me as huggable in the first place?
Did I do something wrong? Well, no. That's not what I want to ask. Rev, you're frowning at me. Do you have something to say?
As someone who immediately asks when people are upset, did I do something wrong? I like the way that he rephrased that. I like that.
I do, yes.
She looks so angry at being huggable. Although I do feel it. I feel it in my bones, actually. I get it. I glare up at him.
I want you to hug me.
You're so cute.
What? With pleasure, but if I may ask, why?
Well, Victor said that I was huggable. I want to know what that means.
Instead of asking him?
I suppose I could, but the problem is that I've never hugged another person, much less another rogue. I feel like if I try to be hugged by another rogue instead of hugging them myself, then I'll understand better what it means to be huggable.
I see.
Diego crouches to put the hose to the side, then straightens, opening his arms with a comforting smile.
I may have forgotten many things, but I haven't forgotten how to hug.
I want to ask what he means, but I don't want to be distracted from my mission. Approaching him tentatively, I open my arms and pull myself into him roughly, wrapping my arms around his long torso. My face pressed into his shirt. I can't see much in the darkness of his chest. I wait for a moment as Diego's chuckle hums around me, possibly at my awkward if abrupt embrace. He wraps an arm around my back, cradling the back of my head against his chest. I feel nestled here, and for a moment, I don't know what to do. I can hear the hum of machinery that keeps us both alive and smile subconsciously. I feel so safe here. Does that mean Victor wants me to feel safe in his arms? Or that he wants to feel safe in mine?
Oh,
I can only wonder as Diego's arms quickly pull away. I had a feeling. It's either gonna be really good or really bad. I let go, turning to see what surprised Diego.
Pardon my interruption.
I pull away quickly, turning to look guiltily at Victor.
It's not what it looks like?
When you put it as a question, sweetie.
Were you not in an embrace with Diego?
Yeah, because I wanted to know what a hug felt like.
Yes, but
Then it is exactly what it looked like. And even so, it is none of my business. I am simply here to let you know, Diego, that the package you've been waiting for has arrived.
oh, excuse me, Aurev. I've been waiting for this for a while.
Diego hustles into the house. Victor stares at me with cold appraisal before turning away.
Victor, wait.
Victor walks briskly down the hallway, but he slows to a stop as he hears me hurrying behind him.
Yes?
I can explain.
All right. Explain.
What do you want me? What part of that did you want me to explain, though?
I wanted to know what you meant by huggable, so I asked Diego for a hug.
All right. You have explained yourself. Do you feel better?
Do you? I frown.
Victor, aren't you bothered at all?
He lifts an eyebrow at me.
Not particularly, no. It is none of my business who you choose to embrace.
I can't help the words that come out of my mouth.
Yes, it is.
Like, one minute I'm with Arev, and 1 minute I'm with Victor, and some minutes I'm like, I don't know. But even though I'm not totally sure what I mean by them, Victor is insistent.
No, it is not. I don't think I should particularly care who you choose to embrace. But it would seem you are.
But what if I want you to?
What? Wait.
But it would seem you are out of luck then.
Oh, that might be, okay, that might be a response to the next line. Wait.
But what if I want you to?
Oh, no! Victor lifts his shoulders nonchalantly, as if to say I'm out of luck.
Oh.
I feel defeated for her. Dang. I look down at my hands. Why should Victor care? Why do I want him to care?
Besides,
Victor tilts his head to peer into my eyes with his multicolored stare.
I wouldn't waste my time thinking of such things. Not at all.
He punctuates each word with a slow step closer. I back away, my back bumping to the wall as he wordlessly pins me there with just his stare. Be direct, try to tease him back. Ah! Save! Save! Ugh! Ah, no worries. I'm glad I could find something. No, I've been going direct. I've been going direct because that was I think that's the advice that I remember a long time ago. Direct, just do it. I've saved it. If worst comes to worst, I can go back and I can fix it. I can I can do a speed run. We've done a speed run before. I did a speed run for the Earl game we played. I did that. We got a bad thing. I'll give you this one if you want. Chat, do I want it? Chat. One in the chat. One in the chat if Miss Showette gives me the hint. 2 if no. 1 yes, 2 no. Done. God damn it! I hate you. I hate all of you. If I don't get this romance, I'm coming after every single one of you. YouTube, you see this crap? You see this? If I don't get this romance, I'm just gonna be direct. I'm just gonna be direct, and I'll just message Miss Showette later and be like, did I make a mistake? I did save it, right? I did save it, right? Wait. I did save it, okay. I don't know. I don't know if he's teasing or not. Is this teasing or is he being serious? You guys said go with my gut. Now I'm over questioning things. No, just be direct. That's the path I've been going. That's the path we've been going, Reeps. Just be direct. I'm scared.
You're teasing me because you're jealous, aren't you?
Let's move my mouse off his face. Victor says nothing as his eyes stay squarely on mine. I drop my gaze thoughtfully.
It's like this morning. You really were worried, but you kept saying that you weren't. Be honest, Victor. It's easy to play with words, but it's much harder to do the difficult thing and actually say what you mean.
Is that what I'm doing then?
I don't know! Chat did this to me!
Isn't it?
If you have time to come up with such interesting theories, you have time to clean.
Right. I let out a groan as Victor turns away.
A punishment you want, a punishment you will get.
Hey now. Don't tempt me with a good time, okay? I stumble after him, sputtering.
Wait, what? A punishment that I want?
He pauses.
Do you not wish for me to be jealous?
A little?
Well,
Then so it will be. You can think about how jealous I feel as you scrub my reflection into the countertops while I graciously mop the floor for you.
He steps crisply down the hall, leaving me to trail behind him. I'm not 100% sure what just happened. I'm not even a little. I'm a lot confused. What? I grumble under my breath.
so much for being teased.
Okay. I'm gonna save again. I'm gonna call it there. Let's go to the main menu. I'm really confused. It's not cheating. I'm just gonna ask her now that I've done it. Have I made the wrong decision? Also, it doesn't help. It doesn't help because the music changed. The music changed to the original, and two things can happen because that has happened when you're on the right path, and it happens when you're not on the right path, aka the wrong path. Do you think Victor was jealous? He wouldn't admit it. Like you've said he wouldn't admit it. I do believe that he's worried. And to be fair, Diego has like complimented us in like cute ways, right? So was he trying to like one up him in the compliments? Because Diego was like, she's adorable, she's like a strawberry and she's huggable. Was he trying to one up him with the compliment of you're cute and I could eat you up? With like, is he? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be honest with everyone right now. So when I'm confused about things, it's usually due to the story, right? I'm usually pretty confident in like my decisions, even if I don't have a little like heart next to like the choices. I'm usually pretty good of like, this is gonna get me the good end, this is gonna be it, this is gonna be it. I don't know. And I don't like it, okay? Because I also have to separate, like, I'm really confused and I don't know how good I'm doing. I really have to separate the Victor that I imagine and that I kind of low-key want endgame and what his actual character is. And I don't know if I've done that correctly, okay? I'm scared. I don't think I've ever said this before, and don't tell me. I'm scared. You guys, can you guys say bye to YouTube for me? Can you guys just say bye to YouTube? I'm just gonna leave YouTube on a very questionable thing. He doesn't know, he's disconnected with his emotions, but also Victor's feelings will become apparent with time. Also, Arev is also confused. Arev is very confused, but I appreciate how straightforward she is. I think you'll like the progression of the events next episode. Yo, chat, who would be upset if I just did more Belle Automata tomorrow? Can I play like an hour of Belle and then we go play Mass Effect? I'll make it a long stream. I'll make it worth your while. Just let me play. Just let me play the game. It'll be worth it, I promise. And with that crazy ending, YouTube, I hope you have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.